A local golf club is celebrating a pretty big milestone this year, so we wanted to invite them on to talk a little course history. Nick Zamansky and Greg Fish from South Toledo Golf Club are here. Welcome. This is Greg and this is Nick. 100 years at South Toledo Golf Club. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm surprised I made it.
You were not there for the opening, and neither was I back in 1925.
Right.
So you've been with South Toledo now for many years. Explain the history of your involvement with the course.
Well, in 1978, I was selected to run both the Heather Downs North and Heather Downs South at the time, and that was 47 years ago. And in 1985, there's a change of ownership, which I was part of, and that's when we changed the name to South Toledo Golf Club. But it's been a continuous operating public course since 1925.
And really, with 100 years, you've almost been there half of that.
Almost.
And
close.
Nick, you probably played South Toledo a lot when you were a kid.
Yeah, I was lucky. I was a member at Heather Downs as a kid and lived in the neighborhood nearby. I think my first rounds were around, I was about 6 or 7 years old. And as members at the North Course, the youngins like myself at the time got shipped across the street a lot. So we had lots of rounds over at South Toledo at the time when I was a little kid.
And when you were a little kid, you probably shot better scores than I ever would.
I don't know about that. I got better as I got older.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah, this is
Greg,
interesting.
Yeah, this is.
You
Who
want
is
me
this?
This is Rocky Rockefeller, who is the course designer for South Toledo Golf Club. He was really the first superintendent at the Inverness Club in 1901. And it's kind of an interesting story, but when the Inverness Club was being revamped for the 1920 U.S. Open, Donald Ross came to town quite a bit to help revamp Inverness, became good friends of Rocky Rockefeller, and convinced him that he should go out and design a few golf courses in the early 20s.
Give me the history of Inverness starting out, Ottawa Park. How old are we talking here?
Well, Inverness was dated 1901, and the Toledo Country Club was 1897, Ottawa Park was 1899. So they were all right there at the turn of the century, and they were the only ones around for quite a few years until the 20s. And then there was another influx of golf courses being built.
Nick, so with the 100th anniversary, South Toledo is observing it on June 21st. The golf outing that day is sold out, but you guys are going to really celebrate the 100 years. Yeah,
we got a big event that day, and that's been kind of sold out for a while at this point. We have a couple things throughout the whole season as well. We're doing some things for our golf leagues in July. We have some golf leagues that have been there for 20, 25 years with the same players. So we're actually doing kind of multiple celebrations throughout the year, and we'll have a few more as we go along from week to week.
Golf courses, did we kind of hit a peak back about 20 years ago, and now only the strong survived, and now the industry is doing okay?
Yeah, there was a lot of courses built in the 90s, a lot of new ones at that time, and they were mostly in the suburbs, but and now that ended up being too many golf courses for a while, and now a few courses have faded away. The weaker ones have not made it, but there was a pretty big influx in about the mid-90s.
I know we talk about farmers having a really difficult life, whereas they have to rely on weather an awful lot with their crops. You, same kind of a thing. You've seen some really bad summers and some good summers. Talk about the last few years for you.
Yeah, I think what ends up happening is we always say that it's not going to be good every day. Mm-hmm. We kind of like say the month of May is 20 good days, and there's going to be 10 bad ones. This year there was way more than 10 bad ones. Mm-hmm. It seemed like it rained every single day in May. But you got to kind of fight the weather reports, and you got to get through the stuff. And as you go through, you're going to have some loser days, but at the end of the 8 or 9 months, you hope you had enough good ones.
Things doing okay then?
They're doing well now. We're quite busy now. The weather's great, so it's happening now.
Yeah, the golf course, I love this time of year when everything's all greened up and beautiful, and hopefully it's not too hot of a summer and dry out those fairways.
It's looking plush right now, everywhere. The roughs are still green and they haven't browned out at all, and so this is the good time of year, starting right now.
Greg Fish, Nick Zamansky, South Toledo Golf Club, celebrating 100 years. Congratulations. There is more information, SouthToledoGolf.com. Gentlemen, thanks so much for coming in today.
Thanks, Dan.